Welcome to IIIT Podcast. Hi Praneetha. Hi Venika.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you guys doing today?
We are decent.
Good. Yeah, we woke up early on a Sunday. Apart from that, everything's good.
Thank you so much for being here. So I'm subbing in for Raghav today. He is very busy.
Of course, he is busy.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that he has been subbing in for me for the past few episodes. That could also be possible. We will talk about that.
I mean, that could be.
Would you like that?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I think we should start with the most important question that this episode seeks to answer, which is there any leftover Red Bull from Megathon and how do we get it?
No, I just had a Red Bull yesterday, which was like from the Megathon. I was storing it for...
What? You did?
Wow. This is coordinator privilege.
Not
Where
really.
is it
See,
for
she
us?
stored
I
her.
stored it like...
Oh, you...
Yeah.
When we all got
it
our...
for the all-nighter. So like...
We just went straight for it. Sad.
I didn't save any. I just drank how much ever I can that day, and like that was it.
And then you stayed awake for I stayed awake the whole night.
I stayed awake the whole night, and then I stayed awake the next day till like some 12 or something. Oh my god!
It is mad.
And we did it next week also.
Oh yeah, no.
Round 2.
It was around 2, yes.
But that was like Megathon 2, like more
Yeah.
like smaller.
Yeah, it was only
Yeah.
for the winners of their round 1. So.
Awesome. I think that's a great idea. So what is E-Cell? How does it work? What does it do? Let's start with that.
So E-Cell, as you know, is the largest organization after Felicity, and unlike other, it's not like a club, and it's like a non-profit organization of students. And yeah, we do multiple activities. One of our major event is Megathon, and we have other
Startup aid, we have campus works, we have incubator works. So like our main focus is to like build the entrepreneurship culture in campus. Like who's there, like whoever wants to do it, are right, welcome, and whoever wants to try it out, they can try it out through our events, and like if they actually like it, they can pursue it further. And we help them through the journey from like where like they know nothing to like they are something, and we can like basically graduate them from E-Cell and pass them down to CIE. So like that's our part.
Okay.
And yeah, it's like basically what we do.
That's
That's our vision and aim for say.
Yeah.
So currently, how many team members do you think you have across all teams?
we have like 40. Yeah, 40 members in it.
Okay, and how many teams do you have? Give us an idea of like the workflow.
Yeah, so we have a like first starting with like we both are quads.
Yeah.
We both are coordinators. We have both.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we have corporate team.
Yes.
Of course. We have our corporate team, and basically that's where like they talk to the companies and they get our sponsorships. Like most of their work is during Megathon, but apart from that, when we do collaborations and everything, we have collab team which works for the collaborations. Personally, just the collaborations, and then next we have tech team. Of course, for the website, for any technical purposes in the events, like any technical which they have to take care of. And then we have a design team for our posters.
All the posters,
Your whole team.
videos.
Like I'm a alumni of design team.
Yeah.
He's in design, and then you can call it design team, and then marketing.
Yeah, which has done a wonderful
Wonderful
job
job
during
during
Megathon.
Megathon.
Like the registrations, like we had to close the registrations 1 week before because they did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And then we have the events team, of course, which is like, or during the 2 days of Megathon, they are the team. Like most of the people like keep shifting between the teams. So like on the day of the event, most of the people from other teams also work in events team.
So like, except for tech team and events team, there is no team which is active that day.
Okay.
So everyone is events team.
Yes.
Everyone from the team is events team, including the quads. We are all events team. So like they work before also for like getting the permissions and everything. Of course, it's IIIT, but yeah, they work for that, and they like talk to the stage and everything. And then after everything is set up, those 2 days it's more about the events. So we need everyone on the events board.
I was literally, I think, serving cool drinks to people. Like
She was cleaning tables.
I was cleaning a table on the
I was serving cool drinks.
All the logistics.
Like
Yes.
logistics are like so much, but like
Yeah. That's mostly about it.
that's TA and HR. We have TA and HR for like
That's
inside.
kind of dead, but like we have that team.
That
too.
team is more like when we need to have some team, recruitment, and also the team activities.
TA and HR, so that's team affairs.
Team affairs and human relations. So like it's like we want to build up the team, like the team wants to interact with them like internally. Yeah, it happens during event, but personally also to have some activities. We have that team which helps us conduct the dinner.
Basically team meets and all, so which keeps happening like every month, or happens mostly when there are events like they happen frequently, but also like they're supposed to happen every month, and like some activity for the team so that they can interact.
They can interact and they can know about each other, and they can know about more about like what they have learned in this month or something. So like, see, E-Cell is a place where people who actually come when they are interested into entrepreneurship. Like, so there are people who just participate events and do that, and there are people who come into the team and do that for the connections and everything. So there are people inside the cell who are interested in starting up one day, who are interested in learning by organizing it. So we want them also to interact a lot. And even the ones who are doubtful, we want them to know what they are doing. So like, we host an event. Before the event, we make sure everyone understands to the core that what we are doing. Why are we doing this? Why is E-Cell doing this? Why we as a team are doing this event? Like, what is it important for? So like, for such things, we think like the team should be more connected, and they'll know it. There is no way I'm knowing from tech perspective, tech team, that how important is getting a sponsor.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So until unless this bonding is there internally, we have no clue like how it will happen. So like, that is why we think that it's important, and we try to make that the active part for us.
I think E-Cell team is like the team that goes to CIE the most. So I'm talking to some of my friends who've never been to CIE, and it's such a flex that we go to CIE all the time.
Yeah, it is.
It is
like
very aesthetic.
CIE is like, man, it's like most of my memories from last 1 month at least are CIE.
Yes, the orange walls.
The orange walls, oh my god. It's just like, I don't know, it just like feels like home or something at this point.
Yeah.
I want to go there. I want to meet people there. I want to meet my team there. Yeah, it's just.
For the
it's just
last
fun.
like 1 month, it's only been about E-Cell for me, and like every day I wake up, it's like one part of my day is about E-Cell.
Something like, there is something that we do which is E-Cell.
Yes.
Today it's podcast.
That's amazing. We're happy to be. So let's talk. So last 1 month, you guys have been busy. What have you been busy doing?
So
Megathon.
Megathon.
Megathon happened on 22nd and 23rd of October, and like, so work started really late for Megathon. It was ideally supposed to start 3 months before. We were supposed to get sponsors from like 3 months before, but then all of it started late. So basically, because of COVID, last year Megathon was online, and even the coordinators weren't, and the team wasn't active. Basically, E-Cell was dead last year, and like after we became the coordinators, it was like we didn't know anything, and like we became coordinators just before Megathon.
So E-Cell was like kind of, it was because of the switch, okay? So we had to come offline. But no events were supposed to happen offline because E-Cell's events are very big scale.
Yeah.
And campus was not letting us hold a big scale. So we have to hold an online event in an offline semester, which is very, very like not possible, and like it's going to be very bad. And there were switches like online to offline to online because of COVID, and it was very hard for us to fix it. And E-Cell, it starts at least 15-20 days before. The work doesn't like, we don't sit down today and decide like tomorrow event kar lenge. Nahi hota hai. So like we have to at least have a 30 days. Like even for our finance team, we need at least 5 days to get a bill approved at the earliest. So it's a very long process. So last year it was very hard for us to look down 20 days and conduct an event. So like we don't know 20 days ke baad, is there going to be a wave where students are all going to go back home, where we'll not have permissions. You go to GNA and ask a permission for 20 days down the line, they might give you. But after you do everything, and like it will not happen.
It won't happen because of COVID.
So it was very debatable situation that will it happen? When we start the conversation about an event, will it happen? So it was hard for us to make let the cell be active. So we did most of the online events. Everything was online. But turned out that people didn't like that, and of course they didn't like that, but we expected at least some startup culture to entrepreneurship culture to stay back and retain. But it turns out that people were not happy with how the things worked, and they weren't happy with Megathon last year. That was very hard for us this year, as all of us.
We had a lot of challenges for Megathon. The thing is, we never conducted an offline event. And even the coordinators, Ritvik and Hemant, they also never conducted an offline
So
event.
we four worked as coordinators.
Yeah.
We
And we
everywhere
had-
we
yeah.
were running four together. Like everywhere we were going together.
And like the seniors like Srinath, Amok and Babaji, none of them who conducted the event were there during the time.
Okay.
And like we didn't know anything. So there were many last minute things which were popping up. So one thing was when like on the second day of Megathon, we needed judges. And the judging phase starts at 2. And at 11 o'clock, I'm like, where's the rubric for judgment? I suddenly realized that there's no rubric, and then I called to Ramesh sir, and I'm like, sir, what is the rubric for judgment criteria? And I start calling people for judge. Like we don't
have judges also. Like
Yeah, we didn't have judges.
pre-jury was also very hard to get. So it was a Sunday. It was a Diwali Sunday, and everyone I call was like, Praneetha, we would love to be there, but it's a Diwali Sunday.
Yeah.
You should understand that no one. Why did you keep the event? I'm like, it was not in our hands. It was legit not in our hands. We wanted it to happen when everyone is here and everyone can enjoy the vibe, but it's not happening. So we have to do this.
Yeah.
So it was very hard for this part and also for the marketing part, because IIIT students were like, Megathon. See, outside students were kind of like, bro, it's fine. Like,
They were really interested.
They were really interested. Like, since it is IIIT and we marketed exactly what it means to them. But IIIT students, when we were marketing the same, they were like, last year bhi hua tha.
So they were looking at the Megathon, Megathon didn't happen in 2020 and it was an online Megathon in 2021. So they didn't see how Megathon works and all. So
at least my batch and your batch, both of us, we didn't see what Megathon is.
Yeah.
So it's more like we just are like, they are like, so like it's a small event.
It's
Which
just
is
a
some
small event.
event. Like now this year, I'm pretty sure we proved them that next year I'm taking part, bro. Like I'm pretty sure everyone is gonna say this. Whoever said it to us that what is Megathon next year is gonna say, please, we want to participate. Can you please register? I'm ready to blacklist.
Very small
No,
events,
just
like
kidding.
just 700, 800 participants on campus, huge budget, huge like high quality of submissions, not huge number of judges. Very small event. Can you talk about how like the success of Megathon? Did you visualize this big?
Okay, you want to know exactly the number of participants we expected.
We were expecting around 200 to 300 participants.
We ordered 350 t-shirts.
Okay.
Yes, that was considering like the extra amount of
t-shirts which
like,
team needs and extra amount which we have to give away and everything. We gave 350 order.
We were really pessimistic at the start. So like when the registration started, the first day I think we got like 20 registrations, and then we were like
30,
and we were like, where are the numbers gonna go? And then the sponsors called me and they're like, am I gonna lose my job for like sponsoring to your event? And I was going crazy, like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And then the registrations just shoot up.
We were in the night, we were freaking out. We were like, oh my god, the numbers are going high, we can't.
One day the registrations at like 9 o'clock were like 200 or something, and they started shooting up. Like in 1 hour, like by 2 o'clock in the night, it reached like 450.
Wow.
And we were scared what was happening, if some fake registrations were happening or some.
What was happening? There is a payment process, right? There is no way like people are paying and making fun of us.
We were getting the money in the bank account, and then we see the registrations shooting up. We're like, what is going on?
That's awesome.
Yes.
So then what is the final number? How many do you have?
We had 710 registrations.
Like we had 10 on-spot registrations, but that was kind of illegal, but we did it.
Even though we closed the registrations 1 week before, that was the number, and that was.
Trust me, if we would like not close it, it would go 1500. I mean, the number of calls we answered after closing the registrations, okay?
I remember you sending screenshots of emails saying, can we still register? And you're like, sorry.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it was like the number of emails we got, the number of calls we got, the number of people we had to cancel. There were people who we cancelled.
Yeah, so few registrations, like at a point we opened it only for IIIT. Yeah. So many people were registering, by using fake college names. They were putting IIIT, although they were from other colleges. Yeah. And I called them and they're like, please let us in. It was our dream. We've been dreaming about Megathon and all that.
Since 2 years we wanted to be there. I'm like, we didn't know we will be here. Since back 2 years back, we didn't know. But like, cool, I guess. Next year, guys, I'm sorry. Next year, even if you graduate.
It was so hard to say a no. Many people called and they were like, we want to participate.
Man,
but
it was
so hard to say a no to them. But yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we took 200 calls a day.
Yeah, this point, like
200 unique calls. Not even 200 number of calls. Unique number calls.
on
Unique
the day of Megathon, like I think in the week of Megathon, I've answered at least like 700 calls. Like I was when I was in one call, I was getting 2 missed calls in that time.
It was so much today. And like,
So you had 4 problem statements.
Yeah, we had 4
four
statements.
sponsors per se. Also, like if you count Red Bull, so Red Bull was our energy sponsor. We never like they wanted non-marketing side and just people to enjoy it, enjoy it and not. We don't want marketing, guys. It's fine. Just like let them enjoy the drink is what they said. So they are also sponsor, energy drink sponsor, and then we have Raj Reddy Center, which gave us it's from IIIT. And they gave us the social problem statement. Yeah. So where they worked for a social cause. And then we had Stellantis, our title sponsor. Yes. And then we had our Qualcomm, which is our alumni sponsor. Every year it sponsors us.
It sponsors every event at IIIT without saying a no.
Man, it's so sweet.
Yes. Yeah. So Stellantis had 2 problem statements, Qualcomm had 1.
And Raj Reddy had 1.
Awesome. And was there, like Stellantis had a round 2?
Yes, Stellantis had a round 2.
For their winners, okay? Like the finalists from
statement. So basically top 6
of each. Yeah, so it's like 12 teams. 12 teams went on to the round 2. Okay. It was like 50 participants were invited and 45 showed up.
Okay.
It was a huge success to that round 2 was also.
And you guys also organized that.
Yeah, we were like
not many people. It was like it was just for 50 people, so we didn't have
much organization part of it. It was just like few things which we had and like the few checklists and we were like done. It was
After
so easy.
Megathon, I was like, oh, this is
700 people go done.
Huh. And I like round 1 where we had most of the thing in our hands, like the rubric and all. Everything was like
mostly from Stellantis. Like they were deciding what rubric is.
Round
they were deciding
like,
when
they
what
just
would
wanted
start.
us to help with them. So like round 2 wasn't a big of a task in organizing.
Yeah, it was
on campus.
Yeah, it was on campus. It happened in SH2.
I feel like most of the audience don't know what SH2 is. Go find SH2.
Just go find it. Bro, that day, like I sent some volunteer, like a team member, to take a non-IIIT student to SH2. I get a call after 5 minutes, like, where is SH2 again? I'm like,
oh lady, this lady didn't know where SH2 was.
I know,
like,
I knew.
Dude, you did?
I knew SH2 was.
Really?
I used to wait outside class for someone, but yeah.
SH, yeah, it's a little, and it's pretty like deep into India.
Yeah, HCI class.
Yeah, you can get very lost. So you had Megathon round 1, round 2, October, packed.
Totally
packed.
That is awesome.
Done.
That's very cool. Okay, so you also, just a side note, I went to IIT Hyderabad. You guys went to a lot of different colleges to talk about.
She came to BITS only.
Yeah, I came to BITS.
How did that go? Was that a weird experience?
See, I'll tell you the problem. Like we loved marketing there. It was just that we didn't get the number of participants we were expecting from there. So we expected IITs and BITS to be more excited in this because they know the culture. But I was so proud when I saw the numbers from outside. Guess the numbers from outside college.
Outside
IIIT.
Of 700.
Yes.
450?
We reached 550 or 500 or something like that.
Yeah, amazing.
So like we were not expecting those many from outside. As I told, it was just 250, which was our number, 250, 300. But when we actually got these many, I was expecting a little more from IIT and BITS. Because considering the fact that they usually do this, they go out for hackathons. Like the hackathon culture is there. So it was hard for us to see that the numbers were not.
I think that was one of the values we had in Megathon. Like we didn't get more registrations from IIT and BITS, and even our college we had like around 200. We were expecting more numbers.
Of course, like 200 is like something very small for our campus.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like our event, and like we expected more people from our college, but that didn't happen. Like. After this year, I think people will participate because they've seen how it actually is, and
they like someone came up and they're like, "Are they Diwali lights?" I'm like, "No, Megathon lights."
Few people. I think one of the college administration or someone like posted saying that they are Diwali lights. Like we put the light all like near
Jagruti tree, not Jagruti, the main tree at the gate.
The main tree at the gate,
and the round one, and around that, and the whole research tree. Okay, and people are asking.
Someone posts on Facebook saying that Diwali campus beautification. I'm like, what?
Megathon campus beautification. It kind of was over, but it's fine, I guess.
It was very cool. That was very cool. Segue. Let's talk about your personal story into E-Cell? So I know, Praneetha, you did some work with CIE before joining. You had some
No.
experience.
So I joined E-Cell first.
Okay,
So
cool.
when I was in my first year, I was like the one cell which I wanted to join. One student body I want to join. I have no clue why. I have no clue, but I'm interested in this. I want to join this. I have no clue how will I get into it. I have no clue which team will I get into it. Nothing I know. I just want to get into it. And then openings open. The first was design team only. So I joined them.
Yeah.
So they wanted designers very badly. Megathon was coming up for them in 2020. Zenith. It was called Zenith, and it was a four event.
Yeah.
So like 4-phase event, and then they wanted designers badly, so they were ready to recruit 8 designers. And I was one of them, and I had no clue how designing works. I had no clue how it works. Ritvik is sitting in the interview. Srinath, Amog were there. I think Naren was there. I'm not really sure who else was there, but yeah, they're all there. I go in and they ask me, "Do you have any past design experience?" I'm like, "No." Why did you not join E-Cell? Because I find how E-Cell works cool, and I like it. I like the way they work, and they were bold enough to give me the opportunity, even though I didn't have any experience. And yeah, I did work for it after I got it, but like for an interview person, like if I am taking the interview, I would like have a thought back of my head. She never had experience. Why am I even doing this? But they gave me a shot, and here I am as a coordinator.
Wow.
And after that, like after joining E-Cell, I was very interested in everything. Okay, I used to stay up. Like they used to say like the meets online. How is the way? If you want to continue for the further, you can leave, but you can stay. But if you don't, if your team cut thing is done, you can leave. So usually everyone used to drop their calls as soon as their team cut stuff is done. I used to stay back till the end of the meeting where Naren or Srinath would unmute and say, "Praneetha, you can leave now. I think we have something to discuss." I'm like, "Okay, bye guys." I stay till then. Okay, I just listen the whole meeting. I used to be active. Like this E-Cell was one community which I was active in. Like online, I'm pretty sure she also didn't know me much. Like
I've known you because like you were really active. So like
yeah, like I was active in the groups. That is it. No personal connections I made anywhere.
Yeah, so we weren't that close before. Only after like coming like after working with E-Cell and like we
before E-Cell also
before
like
E-Cell
little
also we were like close, but during online SEM I knew her only from different clubs and organizations in which
I like clubs. Okay, I like the student bodies.
Yes.
I don't like I like this. I like doing this job. Okay, so after that I came to campus, and then I was very active, and I was trying, like I used to like ping Hemant and Ritvik. I used to like, "What's up? What are we doing next? What's the next plan? What are we doing for E-Cell?" Like, I used to ping them. I pester them every week at least. Like every weekend they used to get a text. "What's up? What are we doing? Do we have any plans?" Every weekend. And then after that, in the summer, I decided I'll kind of work with CIE because it was one of my personal. I wanted to know actually, like, how deep the startup world is, like how deep into it. I had no clue. Okay, if you talk to me in like the summer before the summer, I had no clue what funding meant. I had no clue what funding meant. Yes, trust me, I had no clue what funding meant. But CIE has taught me a lot. I joined CIE through Ramesh sir. I went to Ramesh sir. I was like, "I think I want to intern at CIE." He was like, "Great. Like, what part do you want to do? Do you want to do the tech part, or do you want what?" Like, I don't want to do the tech part. I want to do the organization part, and the connecting with them, and like knowing what they do and helping them out in whatever way I can. Yeah, even if it's a tech job, but simple tech tasks which will help them. Yes, that works for me. But I want to do something related to that, not the other way. He was like, "Yeah, makes sense." And he connected me with Anubhav, and Anubhav connected me to Anupam. And Anupam, she was a very great mentor. She took my interview on a phone call, and she was asking, and see, they gave me an assignment. I had no clue what any question in that meant. Okay, so I did the assignment. I submitted the assignment, and then she calls me and over a call, and she kind of asked the similar questions. I actually did my assignment in a proper way. Okay, I did it to the core. I was like, I'm doing this properly because I want to learn about this, and I learned everything. And whatever question she asked, it was very easy because I did my own research behind that. So I answered, and yep, I got into it, and then I worked, and I got to know the work culture there, and like it's a very sweet team. It works legit like a student body. They all come. They all sit on one desk. Legit one desk. Okay, one long desk. 7 people sit, and everyone works from there. And they come. We have a stand up where like we have to write down our tasks as soon as we enter. We have to write down the task for the day, and then after that we make the checklist, and then we do a stand up where I tell my task. If someone can help in some way, they do it. They're like, you know what, I have the contact, take it from me. So like such stuff happens. And then after that we go for a breakfast at the CI canteen, and we sit there and we share the contacts whichever we need for the day and everything. And then we go down, we start working, and then we walk till lunch. I went to my mess, and they used to eat at the canteen, and then we used to come back and we used to work. It just be very fun, and like, you know, it was like you can take quick breaks, and like you can talk to the team very freely. And I bonded a lot with them, like a lot. Even like Bhumi, who came from CI to introduce a meta for Megathon, she was like I went and I was like, you guys have to come. She was like, you interned with us, like how could you not invite us? I'm like, see, I'm personally coming down to invite you. Please come.
You know, when you spoke about the meetings and like the stand up and all of that, like you tell what you're doing and then you ask. I think that's like a kind of similar to our like midnight meetings of
E-Cell. That's what I'm saying.
Did you adopt that into
and it was so like I just felt it was so nice to like, you know, have like talk about your work. You know that now you tell them. So this is good in 2 ways. Okay, you do more work. You make sure you have a lot of tasks so that you can say that yes, I'm busy today. And the second part of it where it comes is like it is fun to share what you're doing, and you can get help wherever spot you can get. I'm like, so this task is there on my plate, but I don't know how to do it.
So I think even E-Cell meetings are like, we're all sitting in a circle on beanbags.
E-Cell meetings were really fun over the last 1 month.
Write this email, find a sponsor.
Yes.
Nanda, write email.
Write email.
Yes.
So we have the room booking.
And then suddenly I shout, like, people are like...
everyone is doing some other task, and we are like,
order guys, and then I give them tasks, like, man.
It's fun.
This is like really fun.
Yeah, what about, how was your journey?
So when I joined college, I was like, I need to get into multiple things. Like in school, I was kind of nerdy, and like I used to be only in academics. So I was like, after I come to college, I should do multiple things. And I've seen E-Cell, and it is like, it was really active back then. So I've seen them conduct startup aid and all that. And I was like, damn, that sounds like a fun organization. I should be part of it. And like I just applied for corporate and collaborations, I guess, and finance as well. I was kind of interested in that stuff. And my interview happened. I didn't really know what corporate and all that is. Like just before the interview, I started reading about what, exactly MOU is and title sponsor is, challenge sponsor, all of that. I just read about it, and then I go to the interview and they ask me questions. And since other people didn't read, I just read and I just said some random shit, and they were like, oh, she knows a bit. We might take her in. And they took me in. After getting into corporate, I saw like how, different companies are, and like how do we contact them and all that. Like, I talked to multiple companies for Megathon last year online, and yes, I gathered some experience as well. And coming to my coordinator story,
that is a fun story.
Yeah, that's a fun story. So I wanted to be part of E-Cell and I wanted to work, but I didn't want to take the responsibility of becoming the coordinator. But she forced me to become the coordinator, and I was telling her no, that I know I don't want to.
Okay, I'll tell you the story behind this. Okay, coordinator positions open. 3 people apply. They're great.
I was not one among them.
She was not one of them, and she didn't back out. One of them backed out, and then we had only 2 people contesting, and it was not seeming fair. Okay, like it was not seeming fair that
2 people contest for 2 positions.
It was not fair. So Hemant and Rajiv, like they asked me, like, do you know anyone else who you can work with, like, who you think is compatible with you? And we were like, I was like, see, I know a few people, but I'm pretty sure no one of them wants to work. He was like, just give it a shot, try going and talking. So I pitched it to 3 people.
Yes.
Ma'am, of course.
Yes.
And Vamshi, he said, please no. Tanmay, he was like, I'm ready to like take up a responsibility, but not as much as a coordinator of E-Cell. And he's already in Apex, so he was like, I think it's not a very good place for me to start, like, take the responsibility of. You better find someone else, but not me. Akshat Gureja. Akshit Gureja was not someone who I was contacting. Hemant and Ritik were talking. He said no to. He was like, I'm ready to work for E-Cell, but I don't want to call.
Basically in the same position as me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm
But
like, ready to work.
see, she was in co-op team, okay? So co-op team is some team which is active throughout the year, and they do a lot of work. And I personally felt that she's the one who's doing as much as work as a quad is doing by being in comp team.
Yeah.
Like considering everything. So I was like, see, you just have to do the same thing as a quad.
Yeah.
That's legit what I told her. Like, see, she was handling Stellantis then, okay? So she was doing an amazing job, and like she was active more than me back then. I was dead for a while in E-Cell also. So she was active. She was doing, like, she was keeping up with E-Cell how much ever she could. So I was like, see, look at this, and you can do it. You are active with it anyway. Like, why don't you make it your, like, get a post and be active with it? And then after a very long debate, she was like,
yes, finally. And then and now I feel really good that I've actually become the coordinator, because I've gathered so much experience. And honestly, after conducting the event with her and like the whole team, I felt I've learned many things. So during the event, I was running from different classes from one class to another. I was making announcements. Like, it helped me gather a lot of confidence in me. Like, I don't know, like I used to have a bit of stage fear before, like to go and talk in a crowd. But now I'm like, I can go ace it. Like, I can go talk to a 200 or 300 people easily, and I've gathered lots of on-hand experience. Like, so much fieldwork we did that day, and I know multiple things now, like how events work, like when you're conducting a big event, what all things are there.
like you just run through it in your mind now. Everything, it just happened.
So like one of the best decisions I've made is becoming the coordinator, and like conducting even the whole megathon like helped me learn many things. And
just Megathon made us learn this many. Like, imagine, like, our term, we are just like 1 month, 1.5 months into our coordinatorship, and we have learned itna, and like I can't imagine myself down like
and
in like
working
8
with the
months
whole
now.
team, like members 40, and we had to divide tasks properly and give everything, and all of that helped in the organization.
And like it was lot of skill set building also, like as a person, like it was very like you get a lot of things, you learn a lot of things from here.
And like we had to keep the cool, during the event many fuck ups were happening. We forgot few things. So during like the registrations on the day of Megathon was supposed to start at 1 p.m. and we didn't get the tickets until 12:30. Even it was 12:40, we didn't get the tickets. And we had to be chill, not lose the calm, because if we lose the calm, the whole team
will lose it. Like, so we are like, okay, it's good. We got this.
Yes. And like,
man, I had a stress ball throughout the event in my hand. I was squeezing it, a lot of it. Man.
And on the second day of Megathon, what happened? So like, I slept at night. So I went at 2 a.m. in the night, and I slept till 4:30.
Yeah, that's her sleeping. That was it. Okay.
It's because you saved that Red Bull. That one Red Bull.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and these people didn't sleep. Not even one person from the whole team slept at the night.
Yeah.
I go in the morning at like 5 a.m. and I see everyone's awake. I'm like, guys, so we had to conduct the event that day. On the second day of Megathon, we had to stay awake till 7 a.m. 7 p.m. because the closing ceremony and all will happen. And during that time, you need to be active again.
Yeah.
These people were really reluctant to sleep. I was literally forcing everyone to go sleep.
We were not, okay, the vibe was so good there. I was like, can I just sleep here?
They wouldn't go sleep because by evening they will fall if they don't sleep.
Yeah.
So I literally forced everyone. It took me 1.5 hours to put everyone to sleep, and then I took noted down the timings at which I have to wake them up, and their room numbers also, so that I could send them.
Send people out.
So like at one point everyone was asleep finally, and I was the only person awake, and then I start calling people at 10 a.m. and no one was waking up.
Wow.
No, I was legit down. See, I told her, if I'm going to my room, I'm not waking up. Should I sleep here only?
They were awake, so I told them. So that was fine. At 10 a.m., they were not picking the call up. It was fine because we didn't have any important events. But what if they didn't sleep, and then at like 2 p.m. or something where important stuff were happening, they would just fall asleep because...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
like it is a fair argument, but still, I would love to be awake than sleep.
You can't. You're a human being. So finally at 10 a.m. I start calling everyone. no one's picking the call up, and I had multiple things to handle at that point. So we didn't have judges by then, like we didn't decide on the judges, and then rubric was not decided. And suddenly the company people come, Stellantis, and they are like, we need 8 rooms for panels. And I'm like, you didn't tell me this before. Like, you didn't. So, like, we had to set up like 14 rooms for judging panels. And
8, and we are giving them 8 out of them.
And 14 rooms, like, we had to like check projector and all of that. Like, there's a lot of logistics that people don't know, but like, there's a lot happening. And then
you have to check projectors in 14 rooms, okay? You have to check 14 rooms of projectors, and then you have to make sure we have the HDMI converter, whatever the fuck.
So at one point I was going crazy because like the room situation, the rooms for the judging were not finalized. No one was waking up, and then like the lunch also we had to organize for the students, and that needs few amount of people there. And like the guests were coming, I was at the point of like going crazy, and then she and Hemant wake up again. I'm like, thank God.
And then I come and I'm like, I'm handling the judges, don't worry, give whatever we have right now, I'm handling it. And then I go through all of that. She fixes the rubric, Hemant does the lunch stuff. So like, it was like we were working like as if everyone was a coordinator that day.
Yeah. And one thing was like I had to go to, so the event was happening across like 6 classrooms, H205, H105 and 4 classrooms in Himalaya. And I had to go on, like, even if it's one announcement, we didn't have a central mic system as such. So we had to go to every classroom and like announce it. So I was running around the whole day. I'm pretty sure I've lost like 2-3 kgs in like
I'm not checking my weight. I'm not checking my weight. I'm sorry.
And like the mic wasn't working in H205. So I was shouting in
H205 wasn't working. It is a 300 people classroom and there is no mic.
And like, cause I got cold that day. Like I was having cold and cough that day and I was shouting.
She refused to ask for help. She could have just called me and said, Praneetha, one announcement is H205. Can you please come now? No. let her do whatever she's doing. I'll handle the task which I did. Like, no matter what. She just refuses. Like, she's like, I took up this task, I'm gonna do this. Such determination. See, now that if I look back and if I ask myself, what is the best decision I've ever made in last 3 months? Asking her as my co-coordinator.
That's so sweet.
Asking her, not even applying for coordinatorship. That is also not the best decision. Asking her to be my co-coordinator was the best decision I've made.
I mean, we just like go along very well, like the whole thing. We never like, so it's like we discuss something, it's like most of the time it's like I say something and she's like, I was about to say that. And she says something, I was like, I'm about to say that.
And there are a few stuff where I'm saying, you know what, we have to do that. And she's like, I already did that.
Yes.
Okay, bro, you did that only.
And it's like goes along very well. It's like I'm maybe down, like I'm busy one day. Then she's like, I'll take it up. And like
today I'm fine.
Yeah, it's like we don't like it's like we work in a team and it's like always like
it works. It's like every one of us is active for sure.
Yes.
When it's needed, both of us are active. Yeah. Like I think 4 days before Megathon, like 1 week before Megathon, I was down. I was like totally down. I'm like, I'm not taking up anything. Mujhe nahi chahiye zindagi. Like I don't want anything. My life was shit. And then this lady, she was like, you know what? Take your time. You handle yours. I'll handle. Don't worry. And she took up everything she could and she did an amazing job. By the time 4 days end, I came, like 4 days, it took me 4 days to like, settle in. And I come and I'm like, everything is done. Everything that has to be done is done. Yeah. And I had to take it from there. And it felt so good. And like, then we started working, like since that time we were like, we'll work together. And then...
Awesome. So in general, both of you together, do you have any vision or goals as coordinators?
So,
we do. Like, the thing is, like, as we told the team building thing, we really want, like, at least, I want the people who are inside cell to be benefited as much as they were outside. See, they can't participate in much of the events, okay? So, like, the thing is, you find the organization so fun, it's a very hard call for you to make to be a participant of the event. You can say this first. Like, I think you can say this.
Yes. Like, to the last day, I was choosing, should I participate in Megathon or should I organize Megathon?
Yeah.
Then I kind of did both. I was like running.
Yeah, you were running.
It was actually fun.
It's like, it's very hard choice for them to make. And since we are putting them in that, like, they chose to be there. I'm not denying that. But since they are there, I think they deserve a chance to build and, get to know
so
stuff.
Many people didn't participate. I think they wanted to participate. But then...
Yeah, bro. He applied. He paid for the thing.
Yeah. And then, events team kind of people around. So in general, you want the team of E-Cell to really
That
feel
is
the
one
benefit,
aspect of that. And then second one is we really want to get the startup culture back.
So.
Right now, like at least our batch has like zero, I would say, like as zero.
And the the
I can
culture has come down.
I can count off fingers that who would like to take up tasks. I can count on fingers that who are interested to work for E-Cell, who are interested to be participating in conducting, being part of things we do. So there are very few teams, and it's very hard for us to it's very hard to see it from our perspective, as coordinators of E-Cell, that it's so down. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there are people who are interested. Okay, it's just that they haven't seen IIIT they just think that IIIT mein nahi ho payega.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, after college kar lenge yaar.
So I think one goal that we have right now is to bring up the culture again and let them know that actually we can
help them out.
Yes,
so they need to know that we can be there if they need us.
Yes.
We can do it if they want us to. If they are ready to just take one step and come to us, we are ready to do what we are ready to go with them till whatever we can.
Yeah, exactly.
Legit, I'm telling you, there are many startups from me. We even the startup paid last year. I was part of I was kind of director.
Didn't happen last year.
Before last year.
Before
no,
that.
Wait.
It didn't happen in 2021.
It happened in 2021. Startup paid.
2020.
No, 2021 happened. 2020, I just made the poster.
Last year December, where did it happen? We just came to campus.
Okay. It happened in 2020, yes. So I was director of it.
Okay.
So I was a first year student. I was director of it.
Wow.
So I was
I've seen her,
yeah, that's where I was very active.
Yeah.
So I was interested, okay. I was so interested that Naren comes up to me and he was like, do you want to be the director of it? I'm like, what? I'm a first year student. Are you giving the right task? He's like, yes, I've taught this room. I think you will do a good job. Please take up. I don't know how much of good job I did, but that boosted my confidence a lot, and I was like, coordinator banna hai abhi.
So another thing, so when I was applied for the coordinator role, we had to present some few things, and when I joined, when I had to present, I just presented saying that I just want to bring back E-Cell. So E-Cell has conducted many events in the past, and people don't know. They think that it's a dead organization, but we were one of the really active organizations before, and incubator works. We used to have campus works. We used to Startup Aid was also a really important
event for us,
which is a 3-month event which happens, and people don't know about what's happening, and they don't think we are approachable in that sense. And also since if you have people who support you, you would also be willing to do it. So in E-Cell was kind of dead in the last year, because there were people who were interested, but they were most of the club was not interested to do stuff, and people who were interested also.
That's what I'm saying. Our batch was so dead.
Yeah. So
we had to beg people to stay back in the cell. Okay.
Yeah. So now people last year who were not really into it also started working, because if you see something active, you also get to you get the motivation,
and you get the now you're oh damn, I have a chance to make this better, and I'm not giving it, and then they do it. So that is where every team builds up. That's the reason we want the team to be active. Okay, we don't want the inactive members to be in the team. This is the reason we wanted to do some layoffs, because see, I'm not saying it's a wrong thing to have someone in back in just as in case we need them, but if you don't see someone active, you personally don't feel like working towards it. You're like, oh bhi nahi kar raha hai, I'm not doing, we are getting the same things, why am I doing it?
Exactly.
See, everyone has this, and we are college students, bro. There is no way we feel it's our thing to do. There is no inner motivation is not gonna stay forever.
If you see everyone working, you feel okay, and that's one thing that I see in many people might be interested in entrepreneurship and all that, but they do not see a platform where they can go and actually discuss about it. And E-Cell is exactly what we do, and we want to revive that back. People can see us as a place where they can come and talk to us, and we also conduct events.
See, even UG4, there are only few people who have seen what E-Cell actually is. They're go talk to people and ask forget everything. I go to someone and say that I'm the E-Cell coord. They're like, what? What does E-Cell? What does E-Cell do?
Yeah,
what does E-Cell do? I'm pretty sure people have questions what does E-Cell do except magazine? That's also shit. But
I mean, it's fair. They haven't seen
it. But it's not fair from the E-Cell's perspective, because at least for I think our seniors who have started this might, of course, didn't see this going down this line. So we really want to make up for being built up.
So now there's like freshers that have just joined. So they are going to be, I assume when recruitment starts, they're going to be signing up in huge numbers.
Very, very soon.
Okay, so I mean, they've seen like at least social media about Megathon, even if they weren't here on campus then.
Yeah.
Apart from like the marketing of Megathon and how huge that event was, why else should someone join E-Cell?
So, like you see that like right now you see our goals, right? Like this weren't just our goals. This was the goals which our seniors passed down to us.
Yeah.
So like I am here today because I was given a chance to get into the E-Cell and then do whatever I like.
Yeah.
So like that is the reason I'm here. So E-Cell is somewhere, it's a very good platform if you want to start with something, okay? So there's this culture in other clubs and everything where you do get a very large space. Like I do get a lot of, like, you know, I can work for a lot, but it's just very hard. Like it's very less exposure. There's a lot of exposure is what I like to put it down in like simple words. There's a lot of exposure. So I joined E-Cell design. I had a lot of work to do. I joined a decor design. I did work. I'm not saying I didn't work, but it was not very active for me to learn stuff. E-Cell is somewhere it is very active, and the team is very, like, you know, bonding and approachable, that they'll learn a lot.
One another thing why like one should join E-Cell and not just participate in the events is that, you know, we have a better connect with everything. So we talk to, so after E-Cell, after conducting Megathon, I have many connections right now. I know many people, like from like different professors I talk to, and like different people in CIE
and T-Hub and like the T-Hub 2.0. The judges who came in were like very, very, like, you know, different.
So like you have a direct connect with them, and there like many teams in E-Cell, like corporate. So if you work in corporate, you get a lot of experience in that, or events, or marketing.
So any team, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't have boundaries for teams. So like
if you want
Akshit for that day, Akshit was tech team. He's tech team. He's tech team head, but he worked for as an events team head as well.
Yeah.
So like you joined Yashvi's marketing. He had nothing to do that day. Like legit nothing to do that day. He could have just sat back and said, "I'm marketing team." But we are so active as a cell that we make sure everyone is involved in everything, and we never stop anyone. Amay is in finance, but he wanted to move to events, and we love that. So like when we see people interested in something else, I love them, and that exposure and, like, you know, the change of teams you get, and it's I think it's very possible in E-Cell than any other.
So about three things, like experience in general, exposure to like external, and you said
connection
network.
and people knowing you also.
Yeah.
So like E-Cell is place where you, like, students will know you from different clubs, yes, but even the, like, as she told, she has talked to many people. I know many people personally now. Anubhav from CIE head, he's the CIE head, and he personally knows us, like, right now, and he knows whom to contact right now if he wants to get something in the school. And you have connections at a personal level too.
It's like, since we are the E-Cell, we try to brainstorm ideas where, so it's like if someone is actually interested in doing something, if they're part of the team, they have a, you know, hand in it, like in organizing a good event, or like, you know, actually bringing their idea
even
to
if they are
fruition.
even if they are participating, they just can give us an idea where how can we conduct it, and they can go ahead and participate. Like when you guys texted me, like you asked me, can I participate? The first point was like, of course you can participate. Like, see, I got most of the work done by you before the event. So like whatever I could, I did that before. So that's what we do. So like we give you more space. You get to be on the other side and this side, and which gives you a lot of experience.
Exactly.
And we conduct a very large scale events. So like, have you ever heard a event for 710 participants in this campus in IIIT Hyderabad? Now you have. But 710.
Apart from that, E-Cell, like the team right now is really amazing. Like I feel like it's a family at this point. Like I have this, the photo frame, and like I have a similar one in my room with the Polaroid, and like it's a family right now for me, E-Cell, and like,
man, this is like one of the memories which, like, also, but like I described this as like the best 2 days in my life. And people have actually, you actually mean that, like the best, like you say that there is nothing else. I'm like, trust me, not in my personal life, not in my career life, not in my acads. I didn't even feel this happy when I got a JE rank, bro. I legit didn't. But after conducting Megathon, I was like,
This is what you get the J rank for, to do this stuff in IIIT.
See, I didn't join through JE anyways,
okay.
so like it was not a.
But
Still, this is why we. Okay, so we'll go to a little bit something that we brought up earlier, and I think we should talk about. People don't know events other than Megathon. On the ground, like if I ask my friends what is E-Cell's event, they will say Megathon. What is the second E-Cell event? They will not be sure. They'll say Intro to Club.
Yeah, that's what we are not blaming them.
yeah, that's a vision that we told you, right? So like we want to revive all these. So let me tell you what are the events happen in E-Cell usually, which didn't happen last year though, or weren't happening. But so one is Startup Aid. Yeah. So Startup Aid is like a 3-month program. We might make it a bit concise this year,
but make it shorter.
It
and
involves basically 3 phases. One phase is ideation. So if you already have an idea, then that's good. You can come pitch to us. And if you do not have an idea, but you're looking to get into that world and understand how it works, we still provide you the platform and help you in ideation.
Like we give you resources to look into and get with your ideas. Like how can you solve this problem?
And like we invite speakers and all that.
We can give you speakers and we invite mentors and who have one-on-one conversation with your team, and they sit in, like I was directing that Startup Aid, and we had this where the teams come in and we give them space to think. The teams which already have an idea, they go ahead and make a document for it, and then we give a mentor meet. Mentor gives a critic review about that.
Yes.
Not discouraging you, but gives you a review where you can improve this idea.
I was myself participating in Startup Aid in my first year, and I had a Startup Aid, although I dropped it later, but like I had a meet with the mentor, and like they told me actually it might work out, like looking at so the thing is we are just students, we do not know how the market actually works and like what kind of idea people might pursue.
Yes.
So these mentors actually, help you understand how it will fit into the market. So that's like the second phase where you do the market analysis and see how can it be fit into the
market, and how can you make this fit into the market.
Yeah.
Your product is amazing, but how will you make it fit into the market?
Yeah,
you have to turn it around a little bit. So that and
third phase comes to
building it,
and then we pitch these ideas to CI where we can connect them with
seeding. They give us seeding. So
the venture capitalists we connect. If they really like the idea, they can get venture capitalists, and that's
that's the best you can get. So in the third phase where they actually implement the idea, also we give them some tech mentors. We give them some tech mentors who can sit with them and who can tell how can they build it, how can they use which software can they use to build this. So it is kind of we help them build also from scratch. Not just ideate and market, and then also build, and then they go to CI. If they are actually interested to continue further, CI is a very sweet place where they'll actually help you, and then they help there, and uske baad they get seeding and funding.
Perfect. So this is Startup Aid, start to finish.
Yeah,
and guiding someone through the process.
And that is one important event and goal of E-Cell that we want to revive back, and we will be doing that soon. And another event that we have throughout the year is Incubator Works. That's also on similar lines of Startup Aid, where you can come and pitch your idea to us anytime.
You see me sitting at VC, you can come pitch your idea.
That's awesome. I think on the website there's another event that
Campus Works.
That is also that's amazing.
Campus Works, so it's we connect students to startups.
Yeah, we basically provide them internship opportunities there and in different fields.
Our motive is we want them to connect to startups. Okay. There are people who want to know the workflow in startups. As I told, I wanted to know the workflow inside startups. Yeah. I joined CI. So I feel that it's important for if you are starting up one day, you are planning to, or you want to be part of
startup is also going to help you because it works differently when compared to the big corporates.
Yeah. In big corporate, you are assigned tasks and that is it. Here you come up with ideas. You have a space to think and you know how a startup works. That will help you a lot. Yeah. So we thought this is important for them to connect to startups. So one way to connect to them is internships, because startups are ready to give out internships and the people are ready to take the start. Go and meet startups. So we thought, why don't we make a platform for that? It was not our thought, but our seniors, but they thought, why don't we make a platform for it? And they did. And so this will happen around the summer. Okay. So the startups register from March or something, and the interns, it's open for students from April end, during the end semesters of your spring semester.
Awesome, that's great. The one that struck me a lot on your website is the Fail Talks.
Yes.
Very cool event.
Yeah.
What is that event?
It's from MIT actually. If you might have heard it, MIT is actually where it happens. So you get people who are very famous, who you thought their life was very successful and they ended up there, and they'll come and talk to you about their
like being a part of in engineering life, people really need pep talks at times because they need the motivation to keep them going.
And we look at someone and we are like, oh bro, his life is so sad, bro. Like he just did that.
But they do not know the struggles they face, and like when people come talk about it and like really understand that, that's what keeps us motivating, right?
Like we don't go and read up about their life. We are like, okay, so she is the Miss India. So what? Like she was just born beautiful and she had nothing to do and she just became the Miss India. But there are 1,000 failures she saw before she is Miss India. And yes, we had a Miss India speaker.
Yeah. And like in business world also, like people, to make their business like successful, they have to face many failures before that, and like you need to build that courage in you. And like I think Field Talks is like a perfect event that we can conduct so that people are motivated to even work again after they fail.
Awesome. So apart from Megathon, we talked about Startup Aid.
Yes.
Oh, our caption fail. It's okay to fail.
It's okay to fail. That's cute. Yeah, and it's like fail exclamation.
It's right. Yes. It's okay to fail.
Yes. So it's Startup Aid. It was 3 months, but you'll try to make it more concise. You're going to do that soon. You have Incubator Works.
Yes.
You had a third Campus Works.
Campus Works
and Fail Talks.
Fail Talks. So there are a lot of events and like very exciting events apart from Megathon that
they're going to be very exciting. See, it's just that your batch and our batch has to see them coming. Until then we can't, like, we have to show it on their face.
I think once you guys establish it, it'll become
it's become culture.
And then every
we have that energy right now because of Megathon, and we feel that we can like
pull off
any event right now.
And I think you'll get participants also because of the wave that Megathon brought.
Exactly.
Amazing.
And I feel really good about it.
We got a very good outreach.
And personally about Megathon, I feel so it was the biggest Megathon ever in IIIT, and like
it was the biggest
Megathon.
It was the biggest hackathon, 24 hackathon, student-run hackathon ever in Hyderabad.
And we feel really proud about it, like the whole team, because the thing is we didn't know anything. Like honestly, we had no idea how to conduct it. We did all.
Forget about conducting. Yeah. We had no clue how a hackathon works.
All of it, I don't know what, like we got the knowledge from somewhere, I guess. We conducted it like all by ourselves, and I feel really proud about it. And I want to like appreciate the whole team for working so wonderfully.
Shout out E-Cell.
Yes.
E-Cell! Man, it was so amazing.
That's very cool. So, lots of other programs, lots of other things that E-Cell will be doing. Can we speak a bit about the general startup culture? I think we talked about this a bit. Is it there? Was it there? Is it coming back?
So as I told, like, it was there.
Yeah.
It was definitely there. And I believe that it is inside. It is there. It's just that people are not coming out and like, sharing it. And it's not their fault, it's not our fault.
The startups, like, they've taken a hit during COVID, and like they need to build back again, and like everything is taken a hit during COVID.
And like we just right now, our batch feels like corporate is the world, but like, and they just don't see how successful they can be if they actually come out with their idea, which they have. I'm pretty sure there are many people who have their idea in their head and they're not coming forward. It's just because it's not their fault. They didn't get a platform to, is what I would claim. And they, even if they did, they weren't aware and they weren't sure if it would be actually help or not. So now that I think Megathon made them, like, even Megathon, the people who worked and the winners, we were planning to do this. I'm supposed to send out a mail for this, or I hope I'll send out a mail before this episode releases. And we are planning to send out the mail to the winners who actually want to pursue their idea further. Ramesh sir was ready to pitch it to iHub and CIE. If they want to convert into a startup, great, well and good. Like, we are more than happy about that. If they just want to build the product and take the grant and leave it there, we are happy about that as well. So like, we are ready to give them as much as we can. And I think them knowing it will be enough for things to happen.
Perfect.
So like that, I believe that there is inside, there's a startup culture inside, but it's just, it will take some time for us to revive it.
Yeah, I think, so for Ping, we were writing an article about startup culture at IIIT, and we did interview Professor Loganathan for that. And he was saying there's like a trade-off that you have to make, right? You can decide to do it,
Yes.
And then you have to decide to do it over everything else, which is like over all of the secure options that you have.
Yes,
you have to
exactly.
take
So
with the thing.
see, if you are in like developing a startup and like if you establish one of your own, there's a chance that the corporate companies might not hire you because you might eventually leave the company and go to the startups. Yeah, that's definitely a hard trade-off to make.
But it's I would say it's worth it when you like do something you love.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Things will fall in place someday. It might be very hard. It might be, but you will be satisfied to yourself. Like you will have it to yourself that
many
yes,
people
I'm
have this
doing
idea that they work on their own instead of working under someone where they actually have the decision making skills. That is not like you don't get it everywhere when you have the whole control and that satisfaction that you get out of it. That's different. So
like you're like I can improve this, but I'm not allowed to improve this.
Yeah.
So like it's very hard for you. Like in corporate, time takes a lot, and it's very easy to take a step and do it by yourself.
So I think in IIIT we have all of this infrastructure. Effectively, we do have all of this infrastructure to make a startup. Anyone can potentially approach CIE, can approach, and we've had like a lot of companies that are here. So you see people like coming around, but there is this slight gap of taking that jump, and you think that E-Cell could be potentially bridging that gap.
Yes, that is what our vision is, like, to be brief. Like, you know, you basically told our vision in one sentence. We want to bridge that gap where we have everything, okay? Like, CV Jawahar is the CEO of CIE. CEO is Ramesh sir. And we have Anubhav, who is very friendly. So I have seen how every one of them is very interested in getting, you know, new ideas and who are very happy to help people.
Yeah.
Even if they don't like the idea, I'm pretty sure they will sit down and let you know why didn't they like it and how can you improve it. They are such sweet people. And apart from the people, the organizations are well set. So you come, you approach us, or you can even approach CIE directly for say. You can go tell them what you're doing and you can just drop a mail there.
And apart from that, we also have a good connection with T-Hub. So,
yeah,
like we have all that you want, but you just have to come to us. That's the thing.
Like just
that we will bridge.
That's what we are trying to bridge, like through our event, where we are going to show them that it's okay. It's just take the small step. If you feel comfortable and if you feel nice, then take the next step.
Yeah.
So like we are making the bridge like little step by step where they can, you know, step on the first one and see, oh, it's good up here, and then next one. So like we want to show them that it's gonna be very good as you go up, and like just they need to see the progress and like not just the high jump. So everyone is like very scared to take the high jump, and they are like if we show them step by step, and I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of people who are interested.
I think it's there. It's just dormant. It's coming. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think throughout the episode till now, we've mentioned a lot of like people that have really assisted. I think one was Professor Loganathan, some Anubhav
Dwivedi
from
CIE.
Is there like anyone else that you want to like mention explicitly?
Yes,
the whole megathon.
So Yashasvi, Suyash, Adyansh, Akshit, Anjali, Raghav, Rohan.
We can name 25, 30 people.
Yes,
especially like people at CIE that helped and that
CIE,
don't get
yes. So we did get like Meta XR program. They had this program where they want to talk about it, and they came up and they talked about it. But they were there throughout, and like so as I told in the morning, we had no judges. Okay. The person I contact is Logan sir. Logan sir, we don't have judges. He's like, how many do you need? For what panels do you need? For what time you need? I tell him all the list. And he's like, okay, cool. I'll call up this person. You can call up this person. I'll give you the contact. So like, it was so much smooth of a workflow with him that it was very easy approach. And like, I think after my DAS course, I was like, I'll never be able to approach him because of the grade I've brought in this course. I have did so much bad in this. I can't ever go up and show up my face. Then I showed up for CIE and internship. Like I did show up. I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I went and I talked. And then after that, I left CIE internship. And then after that, I never thought I'll again show up my face because I left the intern there. But they were so sweet.
Lohan sir is really approachable and like, he is so like there was this time where I had no money in my bank account because
we were paying for everything, right? Like reimbursements happened later. And like she was paying, I was paying. I think E-Cell owes me like 20-25K right now.
Yeah. So like I had to like, so for all the whatever events that we had, like for the stage setup, lighting and everything, we had to pay it out of our pocket because the money processing and all that takes a lot of time.
At least 5 days.
And I was having no money, and I contact her, and he sends me like money. So like I call him, I'm like, I want this much amount for right now, and like without hesitating, he gives me the money, and like that whole thing, like whatever we ask, like he's really chill about it, and he's like helps us out, and like anytime I call him at like 10 in the night or 6 a.m. in the morning, he picks up the call and he answers it and helps us. Like without him, I don't think we would be able to conduct Marathon. Like he supported us a lot. And like that's really like nice.
It was so much of support from him that I was so overwhelmed. Like I'm like, man, I would have not put up, like we would have not put up any close to this without his support, like any close.
For sure.
He was there when we had to cover up on stage, when the evaluation process was happening. People had to cover up on stage, like he was standing, he was talking.
At the end, right, when we
were calculating
everything.
Like,
I was done
and like he had to keep the crowd engaged, and he comes and spontaneously talks for like 10 minutes. I don't know if anyone could have done that.
And the thing is, even if it was very spontaneous, the knowledge he shares in that even with that spontaneity is...
Yeah, so I did like the Ping article, right? So we're just sitting in his office and we're just talking about like this article, and every sentence is like 5 bits of information that I'm like furiously typing down. There's so much like content and like raw knowledge.
It's
and
very much. So even while conducting event, the amount of knowledge we gained from him, like
you interact with him for 5 minutes, you get so much
knowledge, so much information.
Very knowledgeable.
I'm like, oh my god, I can do a lot in my life. Like my confidence just goes like.
Awesome.
And like he treats a team pretty well. So like the next day after Megathon, he met us and gave the whole team chocolates.
Even that day, okay, like first day of Megathon, he gave us a bowl of motichur laddus.
So I was like, how can a person be this?
He gave a bowl of motichur. The second day, he gave us a gift hamper of dry fruits. And the third day, he came and gave us chocolates for Diwali. He was like, I want to meet the team for Diwali. And then everyone was dead, but we told Logan sir wants to meet. And everyone woke up. Everyone woke up, came there down, and took he gave a VC treat and also chocolates. And we had chocolates and like...
So sweet.
Yes.
That's awesome.
He was being sweet. And Anubhav helped us in a very lot. Like, even with the judges, he does pre-jury. And apart from that, he came down before day, like the night of ideation, where people are just wondering if their idea will work, and he talked to students. He talked to them. He like made sure he gave his inputs and he gave his suggestions. How can they improve their side? So basically the startup aid but shorter version. He did that, and it was so helpful for us, like, because see, I was a mentor for one of the problem statements, okay, and I was feeling like many people came and asked, will it actually work? I'm like, see, I'm not that experienced to tell. I know for a fact that this will, I guess, like, with my experience, yes, I think, but I'm not really sure. I can't think of the negative side of it, but I'm pretty sure there might be one. So I was very in that phase, and Anubhav helped me a lot there. He comes and he talks to them, and students were actually like, oh, I have to improve this way. I was not able to give the improvement suggestions. So, and when Anubhav came in, everything fell in place, and I was like, damn, this is how it's supposed to be. And he was amazing with the crowd. He talked to them, and he was very sweet. He was very awesome too. And then he came down next day as a pre-jury. He sat down with how many ever teams I asked him to sit down with, and gave me a judgment criteria. And then we did the final round. Like, even in the final round, he came for the lighting pitches and sat through them. And he got us Vishnu and Sharath, who are subtle co-founders, who came down and who sat and who helped us as a jury too. So like, he helped us in a lot of ways, and whatever he could, he did. And I'm so happy that like we have someone like that to contact. Even I think like next day I sent him some pictures, and I was like, here are some pictures of you from the event. Like, thanks a lot for coming by. He was like, amazing work. And hearing it from such people is like, and I forwarded her the messages, all I got, See, I was contacting the most of the judges, okay? So like, I don't know if she got it from their side. She might have got it from the team and everything, which I was also getting. So I wanted her to also see that people have seen this a very great down there. T-Hub CTO, he came down, Anish Anthony sir. He, like, while leaving, he shook his hands with us and we were like, great job with the event. Things were really amazing. He saw only 3 hours part of it, okay, and we did that for like 27, 25, like 28 hours or something. So it was like the 3 hours were only amazing. I'm pretty sure you put the other set of the time also very amazingly. He told us both there, and I don't know if she heard it from a lot. So I used to forward every text I get, every text which said like, you know, the positive vibes.
Then even between the event, it's like if she's done, I send her a text saying that
it's okay, we got it.
We got this. And
so like, they were a very good help, and the thing is, it's just they weren't just for the event, okay. So like even after the event, I talked to Ramesh sir. He is ready to take up the ideas from here and pitch it to iHub, pitch it to CIE, and after that he is ready to like. Anubhav is very approachable. Now if someone actually comes up with a startup and I can go and tell Anubhav, meet. Yeah. Like it is very that they have made such a bond with us, so it is very easy for us in the future for the further events. I don't know how are they gonna be, but like I'm pretty sure we have a great help and great support from them. So we are gonna do whatever.
I think from someone who's like in the team, I guess you guys have really set a foundation for E-Cell to really become like what it was before, even bigger. I think that's amazing. Any like final remarks, closing remarks? Shout out E-Cell.
Man, like it's not a single person to shout out. Oh wait, Hemant and Ritvik.
Ah, yes, of course.
Hemant and Ritvik, Amok, Srinath. You guys were like the best mentors. Babjijit, Harsh, sure. The old E-Cell team.
Yeah.
Technically talking, they had to do nothing. Okay, they had to do nothing for this, but they managed to be like there throughout.
Yeah.
They were there. I called Srinath at 10 a.m. and I'm like, I don't have jury. I called 3 people: Ramesh sir, Anubhav, Srinath. Don't have jury. Srinath finds me 3 people. Ramesh sir finds me few people, and then he finds me. Anubhav finds me few people. So like, I call Srinath. I'm like, I don't have people. Amok, I don't think we have enough date. I don't think we have enough rubric for Qualcomm. Can you please help with that? And the thing was, they acted as coordinators. See, they could have just done their part as a team member, like not even team member. They were advisable. They had to do nothing. Even if they had to do, they could have done a small part and leave it further for us. They completed the task to the core as if it was their event. Hemant and Ritvik, they were sitting with us throughout the event. They were like,
yeah, man. It's like at that point, it was like 4 coordinators, not just us two. Like they were there the whole time.
And like every meeting they showed up. Every meeting. And that is so big. See, next year you ask me for a meeting, I'll think about it. I'll be like, I'll see. Because I don't know. It's like technically we don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So, but they sat down every meeting. They gave us treats after every meeting.
And the whole team, man,
Amazing job.
I had to put them to sleep. I have to push them to sleep. They were like, no, I'll stay awake.
Tell me more work. Give me more work.
Yeah, they were like, actually, so I was chilling for a moment. They come to me and they're like, give me work. I'm like, it's okay. You can sit for 2 minutes.
Yeah. You can be free for a while. No, we wanna work.
Yeah,
man.
I would say the whole team is amazing, and like the UG1 people should really join because you should get to meet the people, like the team, which is really amazing to work with.
And you honestly, it's a different experience from inside. I would say, like we can't describe it in few words.
Yeah.
Like in a posh way, like if you ask few of them, they might say you get to go into CIE, you get to go this way, and you get to do this, you get to do you can handle a lot of money, you can do the things to the fullest. Everything is true. I am not denying any of that. But apart from that, the inside experience is not something anyone can put into words.
Yes,
that's awesome.
And I don't know, it's just the team which has put it off the best.
And you guys, of course, laying the foundation for us to really take it forward.
We really hope this energy continues, and
I'm sure. I think with what it has been till now, I'm sure it will. I think you guys have made sure that everyone knows and is invested in making it.
Right now the whole team is invested. He's like, okay. Even the intro to E-Cell, I'm like, I am left, bro. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you will.
I need to do that.
I'll just go say hi and then go.
Like we'll coordinate this, guys.
Yes, we got it. We got us down. We actually we signed up. We're like, I want to do this, and people are actually volunteering.
That's what is amazing about the team. You know, everyone's self-motivated.
Yeah.
They want to do it out of it, like the work, and that's what keeps any team going. Like everyone should be motivated, and I feel that's the best part about the team. And apart from that, yeah, we have many events planned for.
And we'll plan a lot. Like, these are not the events we are just going to do, okay?
These are the previous events which have
were
been going on.
And we are going to continue, and we are going to come up with new ones with the, as we told, the most active team we have. We are hoping for new ideas, and we are very welcome for them. And like, even if you are non-team member and you want to just come by and say, bro, I think E-Cell should do this, and if it actually falls in line and if it is possible for us to do, we are down for it. How much ever efforts it takes, if it is going to give a positive outcome, even for at least a 50 people crowd, or trust me, if it's for only you also, we are ready to do that.
Awesome.
So like,
cannot wait to see all of the events that are going to come up. Thank you so much, Praneetha. Thank you so much, Venika, for taking time out. It is Sunday morning. We started at 8:30
a.m.
Supposed to start at 8:30. It started at like 9:30.
10:30.
Yes, and I think we did a great job. We did an amazing job. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting us. Yes, we had a great time. Like, it was amazing talking about E-Cell. We are in the E-Cell fever right now, and like, this is amazing time to talk to us about it as well.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Oh, UG1 join, I guess.
UG1 join. E-Cell marketing. Raghav said no.
You don't want to do that.
UG1 join.
UG1 join. Yes.
Let's go.
It's fine.
BTS.
There is a reason we just one to sync the audio and the video.
You didn't tell us that. I'm sorry.
We didn't know that.
Down in the video.